Yeah, have a go at describing that too.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, hello. Yes, it's got the little red button for live. So, hi everyone. For those who've already there and waiting, doesn't look like there is, so that's good in a way that we at the start of pressing a button. Not quite fully prepared, but we'll cruise along. And I think, Leanne, you did manage to post to your site, I think, or
I'm just
not?
doing it. Yep, I'm just doing it now, Roz. Hi all.
Yes.
But,
so that's why a little bit of distraction earlier on, but and that's what technology is. It just caught us out a bit by surprise at the actual 10:30. And I like to be on time if I can be. So wasn't
the
as
day
many
is getting away
technical.
from me.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? And
does.
I did have a few little technical issues to start with. My MacBook Pro, being the age it is, I don't know whether it's the age or whether it's just the fact that an Apple product really doesn't like the Google Chrome browser as such. So I'm not sure whether that's part of the problem. It hung the computer up again, so I actually had to do another hard reboot for it, this time with a bit of time. So, hi Paula. Yes, we've got a few that are coming in now, so that's wonderful.
Beautiful.
We haven't really chosen a topic today, but Leanne did say, what have you been doing over the last few days?
Oh, my goodness.
What busyness you've been involved with. Wow.
It's probably easy to say, what haven't I done over the last few days? It's been very hectic since Friday. So myself and my team actually set up Friday for the Whole Life Expo in Adelaide. So I read there with Felicity, hi Jenny, on Saturday. Yeah, beautiful. So we did the reading. I did readings at the Whole Life in Expo in Adelaide at the Wavell Showgrounds Saturday with the stock and everything. And I left my parents to run the stall there on Sunday, as well as, hi Deidre, as well as Felicity and I went off to Golden Grove Expo as well. So we sort of spread ourselves between two shows over the weekend. It wasn't intentional. It was a last minute thing. With the Whole Life Expo was. But then we were very fortunate to be able to go and do a ghost tour investigation through the old Royal Adelaide Hospital on Sunday night. So that was amazing. It was incredible. A bit strange sitting in a morgue, mind you. Still can smell the morgue a little bit. It's one of those smells that you can't get rid of in a hurry. Had a good shower, scrubbed myself well. And one of my daughters actually said to me this morning on the way to school, Mum, I can still smell the morgue. I said, if you've got lip balm, sit there and smell that. So
Vicks Vapor Rub under the nose.
Yeah, that's it. Hey, Karen Lee. It was lovely to see you at the expo too, honey. So we had an amazing time. If you get the chance, I don't know with the Royal Adelaide Hospital that there are any more guided tours through there or investigations, but I think there is talk about possibly the living quarters for the nurses. They will be able to do some investigations possibly very soon in there as well. But at the moment, it looks like the hospital, well, they've already started with the emergency waiting area being demolished. So we were able to go into the morgue. We went up, I think it was Q3. One of the wards up there and did some investigation up there, and then went into emergency, into resus, and then we finished up in the theatres in the brain, well, the last one was a brain theatre. So it was very interesting. We picked up on some activity with the equipment. We had words being spoken to us through one of the pieces, lights flashing and different stuff. Had a little ball that wasn't far from my foot, and all of a sudden it just lit up and rolled across along the edge of the wall, like down to the wall and across the wall sort of thing. So It was, we had a couple of little things happen that was not spirit related. I think they were the times that I jumped. We went into the ICU as well, so that was really good as well. But the ICU was funny because it was a very calm place, even though you could feel the energy in there. And we caught a shadow, a figure on one of the windows on one of the sliding doors move. And I reckon we probably spent about 10, 15 minutes trying to sort of break it down and work out where it was coming from, and we couldn't explain it. And there was nobody in the room where the reflection would go. So, so it was really good. So we got some action in the morgue, in the quarantine, one of the quarantine rooms where they did the autopsies. So my daughter, Spirit, got drawn to her and was playing with her ears, and she went berserk. So it was like something had taken over her body. I've never heard her lose it or talk the language that she spoke, and ran out of there hyperventilating and sort of thing. So we had to go and calm her down. They actually used a temperature gauge on her, and her ears were hotter than what a normal ear would normally be. They tested it against my ears as well, sort of thing, and there was quite a few degrees difference. So
you said that's her first experience like that.
Ebony's, no, she had one in Z Ward as well, but that was more after we had left the building, sort of thing. So both my girls are very intuitive. And even on what night are we? Sunday night when we did the expo, I'm still quite tired from the weekend after a day of sleeping yesterday.
Not surprised.
No, that's even my 14-year-old is quite like as some people would know, she has anxiety and doesn't like to be around people and stuff like that. She became very different while we're in the quarantine autopsy room. And she, hi Heather. She became a little bit withdrawn, sat there with her head and sort of was a bit spaced out. And then we moved into another autopsy area, and she hopped up on the bed and just laid there and wouldn't say anything. We're talking to her and she just totally ignored us, sort of thing. So I had to actually go up and shake her and go, we're moving, you got to get going. And she got very angry with me in a different way to normal, sort of thing. And then when we got up onto the Q3 ward, one of the guys was named Adam, which obviously she'd heard his name through the tour. And she's like, Adam, happy birthday. He goes, it's not my birthday. She goes, when is it? And he goes, July. She goes, the 4th. He goes, no, 6th. And she goes, it's a Wednesday, wasn't it? And she just started rattling off all this stuff about his grandmother, different things that had happened in his life, his older sibling and stuff like that. And it was just like something had taken over her. And this information came out, and she doesn't remember a lot of what happened on that night. So she remembers bits and pieces in different areas, but those 2 areas where we had main activity, she doesn't really remember it, sort of thing. So it was quite interesting. I know my children are intuitive, but that was just very different to what it normally is for her.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. Yes. And there's a Jane.
Morning, Jane.
So, yeah, I bet that would have been really exciting. I mean, it's just one of those things. It's just that little bit too far sometimes for me to just go and do things like that. I mean, I suppose I could, but it's just,
probably an overnight stay. We didn't finish in close to 11:30, I think it was. So we started about 8 p.m.
Being the 2-hour drive both ways when you're going into the city and stuff anyway, so.
That's it. So, and it's unfortunate they're knocking that building down. Walking through there, like just being empty, was quite eerie to start with. But looking at the building, areas of that place could be used. I don't know why they don't use the nurses' quarters for uni students or people working in the city rather than knocking it down. So, and it was quite interesting because what I know to be the cancer ward along the edge of the botanical gardens, my grandmother passed in there. That's half knocked down, and it's good to see development happening, but at the same time the history of it as well. And it was funny because when we were in the morgue for the second time, I walked in down next to the bed and something told me, reminded me my grandmother had died there in the cancer ward. and I was showing her body laying on the bed on the autopsy room, and was told this was where her autopsy was performed. And I said that to the tour guide, and he goes, but they wouldn't have done it on cancer victims. And I said, well, they suspected she had cancer, but because she got very ill in a matter of 8 weeks, and then passed. So she still had the autopsy done to find out it was throat cancer that got into the heart. So it was very strange to see your grandmother laying on the bed waiting for the autopsy to be performed. And then your 14-year-old daughter goes and climbs on the same bed. It was a bit
connection.
It is. And brought a few emotions up.
I bet it did.
So
and this question here from Linda actually follows through on that. So being open to the psychic experience, a choice we make. Well, we can choose to allow it to be used or not, though.
Yeah,
don't you think?
We've all got the ability to connect with spirit, whether it's psychic or it's the mediumship, but some of us choose not to. We choose not to see the signs, and it's just about training ourselves to clear our mind and open up to what they are showing us. So,
another response, I presume, to you mentioning spirits connected.
So if anybody, Roz, even yourself, if anybody gets the chance to go and do a ghost investigation, I can't recommend Adelaide Haunted Horizons enough. We have now done, I think this is my 4th or 5th with them, and every time is a different experience. Whether I think they've got quite a few properties now. So my next one on my list is Strathalbyn. I'm looking at Strathalbyn next.
I'll go to that.
He's a lot closer. Apparently there's a homestead there, and the tour guide Craig, which is incredible. We've had him for Adelaide Jail, the Z Ward, and now the Royal Adelaide Hospital. He said next to Tarlenben would be his favourite. Strath would be the next closest favourite for him with what he's experienced there. So I think that one, and then Kapunda might be the next one on my list. So that'd be good. But certainly check out Alison and her team.
I think that there's so much of interest in the area of spirituality, and ways we can investigate. And for me, I think really it's got a lot to do with self-learning from the experiences as well, so that you're actually continually. Is it a testing? I think it's just lessons in life. So it's trusting what spirit is showing us, as well as trusting ourselves in that walk that we are following what we actually want to be doing too. Some of that stuff, I want to do it, but it doesn't always work out that I end up doing it. So divine.
Let's see it.
Divine timing, that type of thing.
Exactly.
I'm actually noticing in the comments as well. You might be monitoring on the Facebook page. I don't know.
I've only got it on my page at the moment, so I'm not seeing anything just yet.
Because it's not that we specifically are doing readings on this page on this live every week, but there are certainly people who've become used to throwing a question in or two. As far as having the readings go, and you said, we'll do a couple of mini readings today. It's the second time that Lynn's put it up. Jenny Lynn Berkey. Well, hopefully that's how it's pronounced. I was just wanting to see if there's a message for her from her mum. So, and I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, Jenny, where are you from? Because it's the American spelling of mum.
That's it. Possibly she is from America, so maybe, Jenny, you can let us know, honey, with that side of it. Did you want to go Ross first, or would you like me to go for it?
Oh, look, I'm getting a really loving feeling. It's not so much any specific message that I'm getting. I'm just getting that nice, that heart feeling. So
beautiful. Yeah, I am too. I get there's a lot of love there, and she does have a hand on her heart, which is my sign for love and pride for yourself, hun, with that as well. I do feel like I'm being drawn more around the lungs, the chest, the heart area with her, because just as Ros was saying, the love side of it, I felt like I really had to take a deep breath and force myself to breathe with your mum's energy. I do feel she found peace very quickly as well with that side of it. So I okay, the tree of
It's
life.
just I felt I needed to pull a card. So
Yeah,
when you're
beautiful.
looking at that message, that's the message. Whatever you see in that card. I can't seem to find it centered there. I'll just do a single of me.
Right,
so if you want to keep describing what you're getting.
What I'm getting, beautiful. I do feel, Jenny, that you've been going through a few changes lately as well. Your mum just makes me feel like there's been a little bit of ups and downs with that. I get the reference to it's about standing in your strength. And when you do that, the energy will move quite quickly with that. I need to acknowledge a son. Now, I don't know if the son is for yourself or it is her son. She shows me the pride around him, okay? I feel like I'm looking at a younger son, so whether it's a son for yourself, but I just get the reference to the male energy, young male energy with that side of it, okay? I want to say very similar to your mum in ways with, okay? Like I said, there's a lot of pride, and I need to acknowledge the birthday, the celebration or the birthday literally just been or about to be, because I feel like I need to wish that person a happy birthday. All right, honey, so can I leave you with her love, please? I know it's quite strong.
Oh, I'm just trying to get back to that. There's quite a few comments there now. It's amazing how quickly they actually scroll going down and down and down. And I just noticed as I was holding that card up before, I had my tongue poking out because it's something I do when I concentrate. So apologies if there was on the side, but hey, that's me.
It's better being that than being frozen with your mouth open and the screen won't move.
Yes, that happens sometimes too, doesn't it? And Paul, this one is actually a fairly long one. Just recently, I keep sensing my late husband and my stillborn son. I miss them and keep talking to them. Not sure why now. It's so strong.
I think I can answer that one, honey. If I remember correctly, Paula did mention that to me last week. It was their birthday or the anniversary. I think it was both. One's her birthday and one's the anniversary of the passing. Now, spirit has been quite in heightened lately, so that could be possibly why you're sensing it more, as well as you've got that celebration, that anniversary date. So it's going to be very much more on your mind than normal in that sense. Now, I want to say look at what's going on in your life as well at the moment, because I get the reference to Spirit is trying to get your attention to look at that side of it. So trust what you feel, you think, you see, you hear, and you know, because that's how Spirit will communicate with you in the basic way. All right, honey. So it's their way of just letting you know that you're not alone, that they're very much there with you as well. And I feel that together, okay? I feel that your son was there to meet your husband when he passed over. So I feel that they are very much at peace together, okay? So know that they're very much around you as well. I feel like I need to put butterflies around you, so I don't know if Spirit, you get drawn to the butterflies or you keep seeing the butterflies, but Spirit is just showing me a sign in the way of the butterflies for yourself. All right, so I'll leave you with their love and I send you a big hug and some healing, honey.
Yeah, that's wonderful, isn't it? Really, you know, the timing of how things work and who's there to greet those that do pass over. You don't. It's one of those divine things of we don't really know what the plan is, but in a way we do.
Yeah,
you get what I mean? I've got to try and move. Which way am I supposed to move for that little duva? That way. Oh, that's interesting. I'm right out of my thing. Oh, you can't see it, Leanne, but on my little screen, I'm doing the sharing of the two of us, but you're the little one and I'm the big one in this.
You can see that on Facebook.
You can? Oh, you've got it there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I the right way?
Yes, you are.
And this one, as I was reading this one, I needed to pull a card, and this is the one that I just sort of, it came out, and it's just more a confirmation, and I wish I could tell which way I'm supposed to put these things. That's lost its flair. And, seeing the three angels and the half angel in the morning, to do with a car accident, and just letting us know. And I just had this feeling, victory and success, and that's where the planning, the divine, whatever it is that's in our lives, it is all meant for the whole purpose, the bigger picture of everything, synchronicities in life and all that, to experience grief, to go through joy and all the emotions we can. And that's what came up. And I thought, well, the angels are around us all the time, and they are blowing those horns and trumpets with every soul that goes back home. And, for us, as we have our successes in life here, and I've gone the wrong way for that sharing, I've gone back to the heart. I can't do that. That's just
cute.
Yes, and this one here, Jenny Lynn's from Ohio. So I had guessed that it was an American with the spelling. So,
it must be later there for you, honey, but it's lovely to have people from around the world join us. And guys, please feel free to share where you're from and give us a good gauge of how far we're actually getting out there as well.
And I finally figured out how to do the share with the thingy on the screen there from the agenda.
Beautiful.
I'm getting to learn some of these processes. Okay. Yeah.
That's it. And Jane, just a comment to Jane's message as well. Thank you for sharing that experience with us. We've all got things happening, and if you're sensing something and it's not yours, acknowledge it, because that helps you to move that energy on. But it also will help you understand what's going on as well. It's no use ignoring it. If we've got that ability to connect, if we keep blocking it, they're going to give you the kick up the bum one way or another. And a lot of time it ends up in anxiety and depression sort of thing with that. So it is important to be able to acknowledge what's going on. It's listening and it's trusting, and I love it when people do that. I'm working with students at the moment with development courses. I've got one on the go and another one about to start, and watching them learn and express and acknowledge and grow. It's incredible. I love it. So I wish so many more of us could open up to it, or choose to open up.
I think too, with that question that Linda even asked, as far as is that psychic ability, we're all open to it. Oh, I can't remember how she asked it now. It's too far down in the scroll to put back up again. But really, when we do start to open our senses and our abilities and become more aware of it, learn them, grow them, is it actually, do you feel that it's actually our responsibility to use them, or it's still just, even if it's just an interest factor, for fun? What's your thinking along that line? Do we have a responsibility to share it or not?
I don't know if it's so much about necessarily always sharing, but acknowledging them, acknowledging the messages that you're getting, which, and this is a really a good subject, because it's come up for me a couple of times in the last couple of days. In Golden Grove, I was doing a workshop, and a lady came up to me, and she'd come to have a paid reading with a reader. She was really happy with her reading and what she got out of it. She went along to another stall holder that was not a reader. They were there selling products, and I won't mention the stall or what they sold. But that person pushed herself onto the person there from the public that was just simply looking at one of her products to buy in a bag type of thing, and forced a reading on her. Now, it was a free reading, but that lady didn't ask for that reading, and this woman told the lady from the public that she was about to get married very soon. Now, this woman was already in a marriage and quite happily in her marriage, and that had come up in her paid reading, but then walked away doubting her marriage and was it going to last, and it made her quite upset with that side of it. So I think if in short, if we've got the ability, it's important to acknowledge what we pick up, but we don't necessarily need to push it onto other people. Now, I believe if you come and you book in for a reading, or you approach me or ask me a question, it's my choice to, obviously, if you approach me and ask me a question, it's my choice whether I answer you or not, or I refer you to book a reading. That's another matter again. But if you're asking a question, you're giving that person permission to read you. If you're not asking the question, it's to me, it's a invasion of your privacy sort of thing. So, if somebody, and I guess what I'm sort of getting at, if somebody does come up to you and open up and go, blah, 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 maybe if that makes you uncomfortable, you need to say, well, I'm sorry, I didn't ask for that, or you are invading my space, sort of thing. So you got to be careful the way you go around it. But sometimes it's enough for us just to acknowledge what we're getting without actually passing that message on, so that energy will then move on.
Yeah, because I myself have had that experience of having an uninvited reading given to me. It wasn't exactly something that stirred me or otherwise, because I suppose it was in those earlier days where I really wasn't I'll just put myself on silo this one, where I really wasn't convinced yet that what I was getting from other people was even legit, because I, at that point, was probably that midsection of where I was really doing a lot of stuff within my own church at the time and doing lay preaching and being, well, I suppose the only word for it is probably just self-righteous in the, reasonably strong Christian sense at that point in time, where religion was more important than just following what I felt in my heart, because, it's just something that got led to as my life grew in the family I was building and the responsibility I felt. So that point, that's where it was uninvited. I didn't think much of it. It's a lot of hoo-ha. But then I'd seen the other side of where at a dear friend's funeral, his daughter was there, and I was just getting such a strong feeling and I couldn't deny it. I just had to go and tell her about the fish pond. Why there was any significance, I don't know. And it's something I thought, no, I can't do that. But the feeling was so strong that I absolutely had to do it. And I felt so awkward, uncomfortable and everything, pushing on her a reading she hadn't asked for. I've got a message. You've just got to go. There's something about the fish pond. I knew nothing about it. I didn't expect anything back as a response or otherwise, but I felt so awkward and so out of my comfort zone and horrible afterwards. I thought, nah, there's got to be something that is a balance between them. And that's really when I started listening more and, getting things to find the balance, to start believing myself, to start wondering and all the rest of it. So that was my own experience of that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've had times where Spirit has really pushed wanting to connect with people, and I even had a roof fall on me to get my attention from Spirit. A whole veranda roof, myself and a couple others, or four others, whatever it was. But in that sense, I had gone to because it was family, sort of through the other side of the family at that stage. So I had gone to my sister-in-law and said, listen, I know you know what I do, obviously, being my sister-in-law. I'm getting this information. I need to leave it with you. And she mentioned it to her mum, that then mentioned something to her stepdad that the message was meant to be. So, it got through in the way it needed. He was open enough, because I didn't know if he was or not. But, it was like she needed to talk to him, but I didn't want to push myself onto him because I didn't know what his beliefs are. And some people can get offended by that. How do I connect to someone you is trying to get my attention?
That's why I put that up, because you're virtually just answering that.
yeah, that's it. And if somebody's trying to get your attention, just like as in Spirit, breathe. and connect to the message. Sometimes they just need to be acknowledged and that spirit will move on. But you've got to, if you do feel the need to push on a message, you need to be very careful of around the way you approach it, but also the way you deliver the message as well. Okay. Because there's different methods.
I've got Leanne as having dropped out there. So I'm not sure what's happened.
I'm still here.
I can't hear her. I can't see her, and I'm not monitoring the actual Facebook page. So I'll keep on until Leanne actually comes back into the show. I'll drop that down to the lobby. She'll probably have to just join in again. So I've just got up here. Hi, ladies. Hope you're well. Previously asked and got a yes to the move up north being positive, but I was wondering if you see me getting work soon after I move. Worried about financial stability. Yeah, that can be the most worrying part of any sort of move, I'm aware. And having done a few moves myself, and it can be a bit of a scary time. I'm actually feeling that you will be getting work soon. I'm not sure what area you're in. I'm almost feeling like it's in a way to do with food. So I'm still trying to breathe into actually receiving these messages. Leanne is so much better at this than I am, more practiced. It does feel like to me that it's actually more in the food. I'm seeing something in the way of serving and things like that. So whether it's waitressing or that sort of job to start with. So yeah, have some patience. It will sort itself out. Yeah, hospitality, that area. So what do you feel now that you've got back in? Did you actually lose connection or what happened there, Leanne?
No, it must have been on your end. I'm not sure what happened on your end, but I could still see me on Facebook and still moving and everything. So, but I refreshed my screen anyway. So, as long as you can see me. I had the same problem Wednesday night. My camera didn't seem to want to work, but they could hear me.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah. I'm just going to draw a card too for Cass. If you're picking anything up, I'll just.
Yeah, I am drawn very much to hospitality around you, Hannah. I want to see the work coming.
That card again. Sorry, I'm going to drop the comment. It's victory and success. So it's a repeater. I think it might.
It's about the timing, honey. I do feel very strongly about it coming your way.
Yeah.
With that.
And we've got a hello from Amir Khan in Pakistan. So hello.
Beautiful.
Hello, enjoying the show. So now there was there is a few more of the messages here. I've just got to try and reorient where I was up to. Not that we're going to go through absolutely every one, because time is that we just don't have time for so many of them.
It's a crazy day today.
It is. Especially the start seems to frazzle me when things don't go so much to plan with the technology to start with. So I almost feel like I'm hyperventilating from the start. That's one deck. That's one deck that I've pulled from, which the last couple has been that, Heather, and the Lenormand. They're another one that I quite like, which is the Lenormand.
They are beautiful. I use those too.
All three ones. So honestly, any deck that you pick up that you feel drawn to is the one that's to use for the time. So they happen to be the ones that are sitting out on the table and what needed to be used.
Yeah, they pick us. We don't pick them. And if you're going to gift a packet of cards to somebody, pick them with intention of that person in mind. The cards will let you know that they belong to that person. It's beautiful the way it works.
Yeah. Now, Sarah, there was a help there. There is a message further down. I don't know how much further down it, but it wasn't a real specific question. It was just a general, have you got a message for me? And I think, with any of them, we need to be a bit more specific with how you're asking your questions.
Definitely. So, honey, if you want us to answer a question or help you, please be direct in what you're looking for so we can get to more people.
And I think, we've actually answered a question for Paula, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
Is it a Paula Burton? Yeah.
Yes, yeah, with a husband and a
Which I think you
son.
did. Yeah, you did answer that one, didn't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it will
Or
come,
a
honey.
message for her. Yeah.
Yeah, she needs to open
And
herself up and put herself out there.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just picking this is just going through as I'm coming to them now, so that just to we'll keep the answers just a little shorter. Possibly. It just depends what you're getting, isn't it? And what I'm getting.
Okay. I feel like your dad and your pop were very similar in their ways, honey. So I do feel like they reflect each other in that similar sort of energy with that side of them. I would get the reference to, I'm not sure if I'm with your dad or your grandfather or both, but I am drawn to the heart with that side of it. So I do feel very much there were issues around the heart with that. Okay. I don't know if you see flashes of light at times, but I do get the reference to Spirit is putting those light flashes around you. So whether it's the house lights flickering or you'll get a beam of light, an orb, I get the reference to, they're letting you know they're very much around you with that. I do feel that you've been through a lot of changes since your dad died. And your dad gives me the pride, the love, well, actually both do, that comes through for yourself with that side of it as well. So just stand your own strength, honey. Like I said, there's a lot of pride and love that comes through for you.
And I'm seeing
for you.
Yeah, well, I'm actually seeing moonbeams. Oh, the card I'm shuffling for is actually the next one I'm putting up. what I'm feeling for Tasma is the moonbeams, standing in the window and seeing the moonbeams shining through, as far as like that seems to me to be something that's, on the sparkles, when you were saying sparkles, and that's what I'd seen was the moonbeams in through the window. Yeah. This is the one that I was shuffling for, was Jody. So hi, Jody. Struggling a bit in all areas, emotional, financial. Wondering if things will change soon. And so, I mean, I've got that's the card that's come up for it. Oh, I wish these wouldn't glare so much. Flare, glare.
No,
I'm going the wrong way. Yes, I'm going the wrong way.
Yep, yeah. That's probably the best way.
Yeah. And that way, yeah. So it's the ring, 25, goes to 7 numerologically. I wish I could remember these without having to think, I've got to look these up in a book, because I'm not as good with the numerology as I'd like to be. But ring, as I'm reading that, like looking at it in the camera, what I've got back as my vision, it's just the ring, the circle, the things will come around in their right time. And rings do give a sense of excitement, and that they are part of a thing of beauty. So I'm feeling that the emotions will work around, so that and so it feels like money. Buying rings, you need money to do it. It just feels like it's there. So that's the sort of sense that I'm getting. Timing, probably. What is the 7? What's 2 and 5? Using that as the example. Yeah, it could be 7 weeks, 7 months. What are you getting?
Yeah, I feel like it isn't the timing. I just get the reference to the need to be patient at the same time with that side of it. So the universe is moving a lot of energy at the moment, and it's important just to acknowledge that stuff as it comes up and let it go. And try not to fight the energy either at the same time, because you will find that the energy will move a lot quicker with that. So acknowledge what's going on, but focus on the positives, not the negative, because when we're stuck in that negative mindset and we're looking at what's going on and focusing in what we don't have rather than focusing on what we want, we're going to keep that negative energy coming in. So when you're focusing on things not being good, the finances aren't there, the testing times, you're manifesting that. So look at what it is you want. And I always say to people, ask your guides to give you what you need for today and to move forward, to be comfortable without being greedy. If If you start asking for way too much, you're not going to get it. They will dig their heels in. But if you ask them to give you what you need to be comfortable to do what you need to do, they will help you with that side of it. But you also got to give them permission to go ahead and do that work for you. So give them the clear picture. Keep in mind that you need to keep that clear picture in your head and not second guess yourself or keep changing what it is you want, because you're just going to confuse the universe, which is going to bring more hectic energy into your life.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So you've got the power to change that, honey.
And we do. Each and every one of us has that power. I'm just wondering, because in the background, in my side of it, you're frozen. Are you actually still moving on the page?
I'm not.
I think it's been like that for a while. So sorry for not asking until now.
That's okay. They can still hear me. The light's making my face go bright red because I got no makeup on today. So.
Maybe that's their way of not showing you up.
That's it. Exactly. You can still hear me, so that's okay.
Yes.
I can drop back out and drop back in, but we've only got a few minutes. It's 11:11. Spirit's with us.
Oh, it is too. Yeah, right on the dot there. This one you have actually answered one for Tasma, and because I don't hear here while we're doing these, I'm still practicing that to your purpose of monitoring as well as listening to what you're describing as well as what I'm receiving. Three-way thing, really.
It is.
All that we do, isn't it?
We can be pretty clever on the back end, can't we? Yes. We need to be.
Yes, and especially since you're not moving and I am. It's just a bit funny. Look, they are certainly around. I just needed to add that.
They are. And watch what your baby does. Look at how your baby may get very focused onto something or get very stare into space type of thing, because children are very intuitive, especially from birth to about the age of 10 or 12. Some kids start to lose it after then, others stay open. Listen when your child starts talking or playing and mumbling to themselves. Play along with it, because you may get messages from your loved one, but your baby is more than likely picking up on your dad and your grandfather around the child. I want to say he. So if it's a little boy.
Sorry, I'm just giggling.
You're right. You're reading comments.
I'm trying to fast, but it's not always working. I'm getting a bit lost in the trail, because it certainly does mount up after a while. So here's Katie just wondering if there's anything for her from grandmother. So
did you want to go first, then?
No, I've just blank with it. Sorry, okay. I'm actually blank with that one.
That's okay. So firstly, honey, I'd like to wish your grandmother a very happy birthday for the 27th. And I got a funny feeling that's one of my grandparents' birthday as well. I could be wrong. That date does ring a bell for something, put it that way. All right. Now, would I be right in saying that your grandmother had health issues prior to her passing, honey? Because I feel like I'm looking at her illness before her passing in that way. For some reason, is that you a doorbell again, Ross?
Yeah, it actually is, but I'm lucky. Tony surprised me by coming down yesterday, so hopefully he's there to answer it this time.
I think that's the last 3 weeks yours has gone off. Usually it's mine. There's something about doorbells when we go live. I love it. So, honey, with your grandmother, I'm very drawn around the swallowing sort of side of stuff, so I feel like I've got to keep stopping and reminding myself to swallow. So I feel like she had something around the throat, the chest area going on with that side of it. She has a hand on her heart for my sign for love and pride, but I also get the big smile with her. So I get a beautiful, big, warm heart, a beautiful, big, warm smile with her energy, and I feel very much calm energy with her as well. So I do feel she's very much at peace. Now, I need to acknowledge the piece of jewelry that has been handed down. Part of me wants to say a ring, but part of me also wants to say a necklace. So whether there was both or she had jewelry that was separated, I just need to acknowledge that side of it as well with that. So I don't know if that's a piece that you have or your mum has with that side of it. Would I be right also in saying that your grandmother liked to present herself well, so make sure the hair was neat and tidy? And I actually feel like I want to paint my fingernails at times too with that side of it. So I do get that she put a lot of effort into the way that she presented herself. Now, I don't know if she would get the indigestion, but all of a sudden, Spirit, I keep having trouble swallowing with your grandmother's energy, but all of a sudden, Spirit is giving me the indigestion because I take it on in the physical form. So whether it was through medication or something that was going on in her body, I just get the look at the indigestion side of it. Okay, I do feel there's changes coming around you, honey. She wants to acknowledge the changes that are playing out at the same time, so just be patient and that energy will start to move, but it is a positive change with that side of it. Okay, so can I leave you with her love? And she's a very patient lady. I love it.
Yeah, wonderful. And I've put one up from Melanie Deering. Cousin passed recently. She was 39. Is she comfortable and safe? Well, this is the card that I actually put, so I'll put that on solo so you can see it a bit better. And I'll drop the comment. I'm getting the feeling that she did have it reasonably hard, and it really is a well-earned rest to be back home on the, back in spirit world. So she's busy. I'm just getting the feeling that she's actually there doing the full process of the rest, rejuvenate, but it is ready to move on to other areas, ready for the next coming back for here. That's my feeling around it anyway. So was there anything you had?
I was picking up on very much the same similar thing.
Again.
Yeah, I do feel that she's very much at rest, honey. And what Spirit quite often show me is the healing process they go through after their healing. So to me, it is the feeling that she is going through that healing process at the moment. Sorry, my table keeps vibrating. There's a phone somewhere.
We can't see that.
No, we put our phones on silent while we go live and they vibrate.
Now, that's something I didn't do. Yes, anyway.
I'm very aware of doing that these days. My mum normally knows when to ring, but yeah. And that's when I'm live or with a client. But I do get the reference to she is very much at peace, honey.
Yeah, and that's lovely. Whoops, I'm hitting the wrong thing. I wasn't hitting the show comment. So, that's Katie again. Yes. So I think that's the one to do with her just then. Yeah. So I picked up the right one to connect with.
Beautiful. I was going to say, Katie, just breathe and clear your mind and allow yourself to feel her energy around you. We can all do it.
Yeah.
Just trusting what we get.
Yeah. Yeah. And this one from Linda, which was pretty much a reply to what we've been talking about before. Healing in all its forms requires consent, and allowing that consent to happen, whichever way it needs to be, of course. So now I've lost my train of thought with that, because I'm reading on to the next one that I'm sort of thinking, oops. But it is. We are full of free will. That's the whole thing of being alive and experiencing our life here on this planet right now, is because we are using our free will to choose what we're experiencing, so that, as we continue onwards in further lifetimes, it really is giving us that growth and advancement that we need, and just, all of the experiences we need. That's my belief. Anyway, so
I'm here with you.
And there's the one I was looking at, and I was tell if my brother and his family are going to speak to me again.
You got some pretty strong energies around you, honey.
I'm getting a
I get
yes, but it feels
Yeah.
myself. I'm feeling, oh wow, yes, yeah,
There's stubbornness there, and I get the feeling that the clearer picture is no longer there in why that is going on. So I want to say there's a bit of anger around that situation that has caused it, but I do feel things have settled down, but it's just that fact of having the distance between you. So whether you need to be the person to reach out and just let bygones be bygones, so to speak, I get the reference to allowing that energy to flow, but I do feel yes with that. All right, so I wish you all the very best with that.
yeah. And I did need to actually get the card out this time very quickly, and this is from the Gilded Tarot. So, with all that is, it almost looks like that the person, the man there, is actually facing behind him. And probably that is, to me, it feels like there is some things that in what your relationship is with your family is it's looking behind and actually sorting something first, or, making sure something. Well, is it a making sure? There's something that needs to be sorted and settled there as well. Is what I'm getting a feeling of with that. So, yeah, just take that as you see it with what's it, go back and replay it and hold that picture there of that card and see what you feel for it yourself as to what might be coming up at the time that you look at it in depth to see what shows out for you.
Yeah. And you know what? Sometimes I quite often say to people at the moment, over the years, I've learned to take a step back and look at the bigger picture of what's going on and why people are the way they are. It could be to do with the conditioning of what they know, sort of thing. So, just look at the bigger picture. It's not making excuses for people, but understanding why they are acting the way they are. And sometimes we just need to acknowledge it and say that is their monkey, not our circus, sort of thing. So it's, I have enough. I guess I can see now I'm picking up on my own frustration. I get frustrated with family members of my own, but I've learned to accept that is the way they are over the years, and they're not going to change. It's their lesson. I can't force that change, but I don't have to play into that energy either. So I'll be polite, I'll be nice, but I'm not going to get caught up in their drama. So maybe keep that in mind, hun, when you're dealing with your brother and what's going on, but it is about moving forward.
Yeah, and sometimes too, just standing as the witness instead of putting yourself in that position. I know I've mentioned that on a show or two before, as far as standing like a witness watching the action, and that can step you out of the actual emotional side of it and see things in that bigger picture way. I just still going through these comments. Amir has suggested we probably would be good to talk about anxiety and depression as one of our subjects at some point.
Okay.
We won't have time to go into that now, but yes, thank you for that.
It's definitely.
About.
Yeah. And Amir, if you want to, and you can certainly welcome to jump onto my YouTube channel, Leanne Winston Psychic Medium. There is a video in there where I did an hour of discussion on just anxiety and depression in the past. So if that's something you would like to, but we certainly will look at that again.
Yeah, and
because we're just about out of time.
And we've just got. I'll just do a couple more, and after that, we'll be out of time, won't we? Reading is it's a bit tough. Like, will things improve? I mean, I'm just going to do the yes/no type response because I'm just getting a yes at that. So if there's anything more for you,
I do feel it will, honey. I feel very strongly that it will improve, but it's just breathing and allow that energy to move through. Okay.
Yeah. And so I think Lynn has already, I don't think we've answered this one. I don't think we've read for this one. I've seen it further down. So I thought, well, yes, you're wanting to know. Okay. For me, it's just the yes, there will be love again, but love yourself first. The health issues, you're concentrating on that too much. Just love what you're going through right now, then the love will come.
And I'm a
If
big
that
believer
feels
when
right.
it comes. Yeah, I agree with you, Roz. I'm a big believer in looking at our health issues and look at what sits in our energy field, because I get the reference to it, being able to let go of the past side of it. Your body's reacting to that stress that sits in that energy field. But I do feel it will come, but I also feel, honey, that you're blocking it in the sense that you're guarded around your heart for the fear of being hurt or whatever the fear is that you're holding on to. So if you let go of that side of it, you will find things will change.
Yeah. And we have a thank you here, so that's lovely too, from Cass.
As I soon to finish my nursing. Oh, beautiful. You are very welcome, Cass. Good luck on the nursing career. I'm sure you'll do well.
Yeah. Now, I'm just, because we can't go through all of them, obviously after a certain time, there's a few that come in really fast. And I'm still yet to adjust to the speed of some of this. So a few nights ago, Vanessa had something happen while she was sleeping, feeling the strong wounds, like your soul came out of your body. I'm just getting astral travel. Where'd you go?
Yeah. Okay.
Do you remember it?
Strong winds as was like okay, so that is astro traveling, honey. So and for me, when I come back into my body, and I think a lot of people experience the same thing, they will wake up with a jolt sort of thing. So that's the soul reconnecting. Now, it's very normal for our souls to leave our body at night when we're resting, because it's part of the healing process. Okay, so take note where you feel your soul went. I go here, there, and everywhere. My youngest daughter usually picks up when I'm astro traveling. So actually hears me leave and walk around as my soul leaves and moves around before going off. Sometimes it can be quite fearful. So see yourself tying a rope around your waist with a place that it is secured to the body or something near the leg of the bed, and pull yourself back in if you need to.
Very good advice. Yeah, I can always remember the first time it happened, seeing the silver cord was the thing that anchored me, and I thought, well, that's always going to be the indication for me that, follow back, ground back. So, but have you found it's different for different people?
I think so. Yeah, we all experience things differently. There's no right or wrong. I say that to my students all the time. I can give you the tools to help you learn and work out how you work, but there's no right or wrong.
Yeah, and since we are coming pretty close to the end of our hour, I just put up the share, even though it's coming close to the end of the live, I mean, because it is recorded, anyone that's watching now, you can still share it with others, and anyone that's watching the replay can still share it with others. That's the beauty of technology of Facebook and all the social media platforms, really, isn't it?
Definitely.
So, yeah. And there's not really a timeline to it, time limit.
That's it.
I don't think so. I think as long as we leave it up there on the Facebook land, it's there almost forever.
Yeah, definitely. Be like, yeah. I will mention, Roz, I am starting a beginner's mediumship workshop online course. It's an 8-week course for people that want to understand this side of it and feel that they're interested or they've got a bit of a connection but don't understand how they work. We are starting on the 11th of October. It'll be a Thursday night, 8 p.m. my time, so Australian Central Standard Time. And you can certainly inbox me at Leanne Winston, Psychic Medium. I do have, I would say 3, maybe 4 places left in that workshop if you're interested. If you can't make it a week, it is recorded so you can watch back.
Yeah.
So,
and that's on your Facebook page, the bookings and information on that, isn't it?
Not as yet, because I started a class a couple of weeks ago, and I've got more people now that have missed that want to come in. So I will try and get something up today or tomorrow. But if you just inbox me and say, hey, I'm interested, I can certainly give you details.
Yeah, it's really only a matter of just connecting with you through your Facebook page, for both of us. We both do the readings that are information on the Facebook pages. The link is in the description on the event. So just click on those. I probably haven't got as much information up about it as what about what I do as what Leanne does with hers. I'm still developing and growing and getting used to social media and Facebook as such, per se. But yeah, we both do the readings and other things. That's why I've got mine labelled Hypnosis Plus, because I do other things. Had a lovely massage with a client. I gave the massage yesterday, and it was a wonderful day, wonderful time of sharing that one. So, getting back into it and progressing.
Yeah.
Because it's been a while since I've done the physical body work, and getting back into that, readings, hypnosis, all that. Not here to push the barrow, but I mean, why not, since we're online?
That's the thing. If people are drawn to us, they're drawn to us.
They'll come to us. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. If we don't put ourselves out there, how do they not know, what we do?
That's right. So for those who are watching and feel that we would suit someone that they know for whatever reason, if you feel that we'll be drawn to, that they'll be drawn to us or the other way, just share. And thank you for that. So it's another week where we've come to the end of the show, and hopefully you are moving on the other end. I still haven't been able to monitor it.
I'm not. I'm frozen.
So
I'm seeing
hear your virtual wave in the background. We'll see you next week about the same time, hopefully without technological issues.
Actually, I may not be available next week, Roz. I might be able to do it. I might be able to do it actually on my phone, possibly, because I will be away camping in Wallaroo with a family. I don't get back until Wednesday morning. So maybe I could do it from the beach if it's not
tree.
Maybe we'll try to do it from the beach if I can, if it's not too windy.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful. We'll see what eventuates. Others who are watching right now, just take the challenge and come along for the surprise of where it's going to be for Leanne. I should be here, but you never know.
Okay. I could be hiding in the toilet block out of the wind.
That'll be interesting.
That could be interesting sound effects.
Okay, surprise for next week. See everyone then.
Take care.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.